TJ, do you do a lot of table reads?
When they're as much as I can.
Give Kimbrough your number because I do a lot of table reads for my scripts as I write.
Yeah, we could do them here.
I will do them. We do them in my house, and we turn it into an event, and everybody eats and enjoys themselves.
That's how I do a lot of my writing. Is we improv as we're writing.
Yeah, it helps.
Well, we do that too. Don't get me wrong, but I do the table reads to find out what's wrong. I love feedback.
Well, that's another thing. We'll email each other and be like, okay, yes or no. I mean, no criticism is bad criticism, or any criticism.
No, I want to hear the worst stuff.
Right. So, but you have to put it out loud in voice too.
That means a lot.
Letters from Baghdad. When I originally wrote it, my third act, I made everything okay. I had a friend of mine who'd been writing for 20 years. I don't know why I did it. He said, "Why don't you just send the club in and give them a Mai Tai and make everything okay?
Yeah.
Isn't everything supposed to go to hell in the third act?" And I went, "Yeah, I guess you're right." So I had to rewrite everything, kill everybody off, and do all kinds of stuff.
Maria,
Yes.
how are we looking here?
So yeah, I'm always looking for readers.
Yeah.
I would pull back a little bit, give you guys some air.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just hear you speak into the?
You shouldn't have to lean into it.
You shouldn't have to read it. Don't lean into it. But I.
Hello.
Okay, that's
Can you
good.
hear me? Just fine.
That's good. I wasn't sure before it was a little echoey.
Hello.
I hear you.
Testing.
Oh, you sound great. That was
Oh, you sound wonderful. So that's a new wonderful.
I think it was, yeah.
Now you.
Oh, and he's good. No, he's good.
You still haven't heard? You still can't hear me?
No, I can. I just didn't want any echo on it.
Oh, okay.
Echo.
Echo.
All right. Let me know when to push.
Okay. Is this out of the...
You're done? I can pull it out.
All right, producers, directors, talent is ready.
Oh, is that us?
I've never been
Where's the other
insulted in all my
Where's
life.
the other book? Oh.
I'll hold it.
Oh, he'll hold it. See? He does it better than I do. Somehow you look better doing it than me.
All right, roll for sound. I think it's recording. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do like this. You good?
Yeah, I think so. Let's make sure it's recording. Did I press it long enough?
Is it red?
Yeah, it's all of them are red right here, right?
Well, it should be a red line across the top.
Oh, no, you press. I always. That's next.
Oh, is that it? I think it's red.
It should be a red line across the top.
Across the top.
Maybe you mean down.
Oh,
Sorry, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Thank God you're here.
And hang on to me. And oh Jesus, can't even clap right.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. The PodBrother here, PodBrother Nation Network, streaming and pre-recording. You don't know what it is because I'm not going to tell you, but that's what we do here at Miceli's every Tuesday. And it is my pleasure to have a couple of talented writers / producers / just all around cool guys who write books and cook spaghetti and have table reads at their apartment in Glendale. And I'm glad you guys could come in and hook up with the PodBrother. How you doing, Scott? Lloyd, what's happening? What's happening? So we have the books displayed. So this show is pretty much going to be about your books. And
About the books and
you're
upcoming
doing.
projects.
Upcoming projects.
Yeah.
So, how the family, first of all?
Very, very good. Actually, I got my wife here. She's filming and taking pictures right now.
Yeah.
And I got my mother-in-law over here. She's the sweetest lady in the world.
Mama-in-law?
Mom-in-law.
She's smiling. Look at her. She's
Yeah.
smiling, waving.
And by the way, all those horrible rumors about mothers-in-law being horrible, not my case. I got the sweetest mother-in-law in the world, I swear.
My mother-in-law
She
is
is,
awesome.
she's awesome.
She's 6 feet under, but she's beautiful.
Oh, well, you know what? This one's still alive. We'll keep her as long as we can keep her.
Well, I should say ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah, we'll keep her as long as we can keep her around.
No
She's sweet.
longer in
We
the
love her.
family. So it's good to have you guys here, man.
Thank you.
I'm excited to hear about some projects you got going. I'm excited to hear about your book. And
You've been at my readings, by the way, so that's a fun. And by the way, you know as well as I do the things that I do well and the things I don't do well as a writer. Because, as you well know, I live and die by feedback. It is everything in the world to me. And I make adjustments according to feedback. So, last reading we had, all those adjustments and those requests from Maria and you, they were all made.
Awesome. Well, I'm a comedian, so put a microphone in front of my face and I'm blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. I got opinions.
I still got to take your class and I'm frightened to death to do that.
You should.
I'm frightened to death to do that.
You are a hysterical prospect for stand-up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't even pay you to say that. That's the scary part of it.
Well,
You wait till I give you the drugs and the money.
But I subconsciously kind of have like this danger-filled facsimile
Lord,
of you. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm dying to hear like some of the material you want to start with. And then I want to take that
And
and
turn it around, make it something,
cross-morginate with my facsimile of a danger-fill-ish kind of formula and see
You just
what
came up with about 8 words that don't even exist, but
And I
somehow
went
you made
to a
them work.
public school. How about that?
And somehow you made them all work. I got to give you credit. I've never seen that before.
You know, I've taught quite a few people in my stand-up comedy workshops over the decades, but I have to be honest. Reading your stuff, being a voice and a table reader actor for your script, I'm really excited to kind of dive into a stand-up comedy tutorial with you because I kind of feel the type of person you are. I kind of feel, with your writing and your whole strategy and the arc of your story, like I have a little bit more of a connection with your creativity, which makes it easier for me as a stand-up instructor to kind of like dump into your comedic character.
You blew me away though. The first night we read Benjamin Green, and you stopped, and we started to go around the table, and I wanted to get impressions. And you're the only one that looked at me and said, "He's been there. He's done this. It's in the writing. Can't you see it?" And I went, "Well, how did he figure that out?" Because I didn't tell anybody up to that point, but you knew it. And I'm like, how in the world did he figure that out? Because there's nothing in there that said that I had actually done this. And you said these are personal experiences. All this stuff you're bringing in here, these are personal experiences you're bringing in here. I thought that insight was amazing.
Well, when you're reading a character, you have to find out what they're saying between the lines. And in order to get that, you got to get a feel for the writer and what their experiences are and what they're going through. And being a comedian, you have to be a good judge of character. You have to be a good judge of your crowd. You have to read your crowd, know your crowd, and you're not going to come with them with the same thing. So you have to listen intensely. You have to look. You have to observe. You have to kind of pull in, get your antennas and your radar, and get
You
as
do it,
much
bro.
as you can.
You do it very well. That's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's fun. I can't wait to read your next project. Because, as a matter of fact, we're doing a table reading with some actors after here. And actually, if you guys want to stick around, I can hijack your lovely wife to be one of the actresses in our table read. If you guys don't have a curfew,
I don't know.
she's shaking her head no.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm not gonna.
I
do
don't.
that.
I don't know because her mom. I don't know how we want to stress her out too much.
Okay,
And just time factor.
right on, not a problem. So let's dive into your book. Give me some show and tell. What's the show and tell today on PodBrother Nation?
Okay, this is based upon a script, written from a script, about a Northern California fake town called Hephzibah. It's a comedy about a family who's facing losing their family, fifth generation or third generation farm. Fifth generation family farm, and they have to think outside the box and grow marijuana just before it becomes legal. And
They've been growing wheat and corn, cereal crop.
And it isn't working out.
They've been getting less yield yearly, for the last 20 years.
And we explain why in the second book, and you see it very clearly, because there's some secrets in there we expose. But in the process of growing the cannabis, they have to serendipitously hook up with the Detroit Mafia. They don't want to, and their sons who cause more trouble for them sometimes than they're worth. But they do bail them out eventually in the end. So
Every character has their own voice, their own comedic voice, and going from one character to another, it's a laugh-filled 208 pages, so it's not too long. It'll keep your attention. if you're a reader.
So how far into the book do you get to like the juicy sex scene?
Well, let's see now. You can imagine it
Yeah,
before
yeah.
you even
This is
crack the book.
PG and G rated, but you know, I tried to convince him that maybe we should do that, and he looked at me and said, "No, tater tots is all you get."
Yes.
Okay, so
Tater
how
tots
far
is
in the movie do you
definitely
have like a car chase, and there's like a bunch of shoot 'em ups?
Well, we do have a car chase. It's more car and a tractor chase.
Yeah, tractor and lawnmower. Yeah,
Yeah.
This sounds like a family film.
yeah, it is. It's
Well,
G
yeah.
rated, PG rated. Oh yes.
Okay,
plenty-
how far
there's
into it
plenty of
when a
good
couple of
blood.
like really bad guys with scars and patches on their eye just shoot up the place?
Well, the Detroit
And there's
Mafia
just-
shows up pretty quickly within the first 20 pages, and they want their money and they want their stuff back. And then we have to
They have
figure.
an agenda.
They have an agenda, and our family has an agenda saving the farm, and they finally decide maybe they need to forget the wheat and the corn.
We can kind of work together.
And they have a genius daughter who's
It's a bad guy with
yeah.
a heart of gold.
Yeah, and that guy with a heart of gold who actually helps him figure out how to grow the crop, and the daughter who figures out how to market it. And she's a
9-year-old
genius.
daughter.
9-year-old genius. Evil genius, I think, in some ways.
And okay, does the black guy die in the first scene?
No.
is it-
Well, I tried to write
that's
that
the-
in there
I-
too.
you know,
That's
I
the
got
bad
questions.
guy
I got
with the heart
questions.
of gold.
But I tried to write that in and he
course.
said that's not the horror film. That's not a horror
There's
film.
other worse guys.
And then the white person's supposed to walk into the barn where the chainsaws are. We tried to do that, and he said we can't do that. So
Okay.
yeah, we can't do that.
All right. Well, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, just ask some questions.
We
here
tried
about what
that.
you
We
got.
tried that, but he wouldn't go for it. So he said
Okay.
this is not a horror film, Lloyd.
All right. So, how deep in the book does the bar scene, the you know, the fight in the bar happen?
Oh, there's no fight in the bar, but there is a gay bar in there that is really fun to be in.
Queers.
Called Queers. Used to be called Queens.
Yeah.
Grandpa still thinks at 100 years old he can walk in there and get laid, but he ain't getting laid in Queers. It ain't gonna
He
happen.
thinks it's ladies' night.
Yeah, he thinks it's ladies' night. He still does. He's still working on ladies' night. Ain't gonna happen.
You know, that reminds me of a story that I had. I used to own a comedy club on the Queen Mary in Long Beach.
Okay.
Really.
And you know, I didn't get a chance to like check out the city and the other, because I wanted to do some cross promotion with
Okay.
some of the other restaurants and bars, exchange tickets for
So you didn't do
meals,
the
whatever.
demographics, necessary
No, I
demographics.
did not. I did not study
That didn't help you,
my
did it?
demographic of what Long Beach was about. And I'm going down one of the streets in downtown, and I see a place that says Queen Mary. I'm like, hey, I got a comedy club at the
That's
Queen
it,
Mary.
remember? Yeah.
I went in there. It was Queens and then was
No,
Mary's, but
yeah.
it wasn't.
They weren't
had nothing
interacting
to
with
do
you.
Queen
with
Yeah.
the Queen Mary.
Yeah, you were.
I never saw more swinging sausages with lipstick and
Yeah.
skirts in my life.
Well, you know
In
what?
my life, bro.
It was working for them.
It was my life, but you know what?
This book is for you.
You
Yeah, this book is for you then, absolutely.
And I was okay with it because, like, I wanted everybody to come to my show. I don't care if you're a Queen Mary. You can come to the Queen Mary
With the
as
Queen
a
Mary.
Queen Mary. Lipstick,
bring those
skirts,
red
swinging
high heel
sausages.
pumps.
Just bring your funny bone. That's all
That's
I care.
it. Yeah.
I got jokes.
And your
That's all
love
I
of
care.
yoo-hoos.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
So
Well,
the-
I can't
anyways-
wait to read your book.
Second book is coming out within the next few months. We're going to finish up the script.
Cat
and
Cannabis Farms, The Great
Divide.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to, that's the one that's going to really kind of set up for the next few things that we're doing that are really going to become clear about how this becomes a series.
We'll try and wrap up the family's highlights in the third book of the series, which will technically be book in the series.
Were you read the Characters Farm reading? I don't think
wasn't.
you were. No, you were at the Benjamin Green,
Benjamin Green.
and Letters from Baghdad.
Letters from Baghdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when you were at the reading for Letters from Baghdad, we were only at iteration or draft number 20. Which, by the way, I was getting emails going, what the hell are you doing? That was the what the hell are you doing draft. Yeah, for most of them from him. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. And then I'd go back and go, I taking deep offense to that. Let me read it. Damn, he's right. Close that back up and let's fix it. Yeah. And I was doing that. Yeah.
It's always good to have a fresh pair of eyes and ears on anything that you do, because you know there's stuff that you overlook that you don't really even think about.
If a writer doesn't live off feedback, he doesn't live. I'm sorry. Feedback is everything and all. There's nothing more important. Because, first of all, Hemingway said about writing, write drunk and sober. What does that really mean? Because he has actually a science behind that. You don't write perfection, ever. You never worry about perfection. It is a waste of time, useless. Okay? You write, put the idea down, write imperfect scenes, write imperfect pages in a book. Then you finish the rough draft, set it aside, don't even look at it. That way when you get back to it, it's a whole new thing you never saw before. Never work on perfection. Perfection is a waste of time. Even after you go back and you re-edit and you do the draft, in which case Letters from Baghdad, 127 versions. 127 when it was done. And I've gotten back on a couple producers, one of them did Coming to America. This is Academy Award winning script. I said to them in my mind, I wanted to say it really, no it's not. It's a good start. That's all it is. There's no such thing as an Academy Award winning script that you've just written. What there is a great start for one. But I didn't get there because I wrote perfection. I got there because I wrote junk that I polished into something usable, something good through feedback. Feedback is everything.
You know, I find that the same thing with writing comedy material, and you're going to discover that too when I teach you some of the techniques and the paradigms and the formulas, is you think of something funny, you write that down, and then you kind of manufacture the setup and punchline around that funny concept, and then the character that you develop to deliver that, you're going to make also choices on what characters you're going to use, facial expressions, body language, any gestures, voice inflection, all those choices you're going to make, and guess what? You still may not get a laugh after you do it 30 times. Because
I'm not nervous now.
It takes some time for it all to come together. And unfortunately, you don't get access to a stage every 15 minutes to fix your joke. You have to wait till the next audience, which could be a day or two or a week.
Right.
So if you need to make 20 modifications on one joke, that's 20 seconds long. One joke.
Wow.
One joke, you need to make a modification. And you need 20 audiences to do it. And it takes 20, you got 20 weeks to work on 20 seconds. That's why comedy takes so long. That's why it takes you so long to get good.
That's scary.
It takes you long to get good. So when you sign up for it, I mean, some people naturally have that comedic je ne sais quoi, you know, the Eddie Murphys and the Steve Kimbrough.
I can't pronounce that, so I know I don't have it.
And just right out the gate, they got the voices and they can sing. They got the, you know,
I
the
got the
charisma.
voices.
They got all the
And they have the
stuff.
Chris
comedic
Rock, I love
Chris
it.
Rock.
timing.
They got the timing, they got the beats, they know when to like speed it up, slow it down, they know to wait, the pauses. It's some people just naturally
Arrow
have
to the
that.
head.
Other people you can point out where they can insert that, and all of a sudden their act just explodes.
I used to be able to do almost every voice for Warner Brothers of the Looney Tunes, and I was up to about yes, about 80 different voices at one time. Okay, I don't do them much anymore because nobody really wants me to do them, and I don't care anymore. But there was a time that I used to do all those voices.
He just does them to me now.
Yeah, I just do them to her, and she tells me shut up. Sit down. Sit down. I'm watching TV.
You know, that's why this marriage is gonna last. When you do Looney Tunes in the bedroom, you're good forever. This marriage ain't gonna.
Okay, I don't need to do that to make her laugh. Trust me, that happens all by itself.
Oh yeah, I've heard stories.
Yeah,
I've lost.
I'm
more
having
women
my
doing
morning
cartoon
coffee.
voices.
yeah.
I've been ignored by more women.
I mean, I'm telling you.
Let's put it this way. I've looked at my wife, and I've looked at her and go, "Would you mind blowing me to smithereens?" She said, "Shut the fuck up. Ain't nothing happening now. Screw you." All right. Well, that wasn't a good idea.
Can you see him doing laundry?
Yeah, you're doing laundry, asshole.
Busy
Shut
right
up.
now. But yeah, no, it's fun stuff.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
fun stuff. But you know, the fact that you're writing books and writing scripts and you're really dissecting and going deep into the analytics to have something good. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but
Nothing is.
It's like to be able to go through the process to find those moments. It takes on a life of its own,
Yes, it
and
does.
taking on a life of its own, that is the most amazing part of it. And
If you think about, if you know absolutely every word of your script before you write it, and you planned it out, then you have really not thought it out. Because I'm going to tell you something. You do not know how your script's going to end until you finish up the last page and you've done enough rewrites to ad nauseum. You know every word of the 21,240 words. You know every one of those words, inside and out. That's how I ended Letters from Baghdad. And I still was finding mistakes after version 127. So I woke up one day and said, enough of the perfection. It ain't happening. I'm done. Letters from Baghdad, the script is finished. Now, somebody wants to, I got a production company, and I'm not going to name them, that wants to do the full series. They may bring somebody else in. You know what I'm going to tell that writer? Don't include me in this. I'll sit down with you. I'll tell you what page 57 says, and I'll tell you what it was intended to do. Now, if you want to rewrite it, please have fun. I'm ad nauseum up to here with Letters from Baghdad. I just want to get it made and help people.
have you found? Because I know this happens to me when I'm writing. I'm actually writing a feature script as we speak. But I've written some shorts and I've written a bunch of.
Oh, you've told me about this, by the way.
Yeah, and that's it. This is a fun project. I'm super excited about it. But have you found that, and Scott, you can answer this as well, being a writer, there's a certain point when you're writing your script and you're kind of dumping your brain, and you pick it up, you put it down, you pick it up, have you found there's a point where all of a sudden these characters pop off the page and actually start talking to you? Have you had that happen to you? Because for me, that's an epiphany, because in my mind I have developed enough character traits and I've given them enough dialogue and I've put them in enough situations so they actually start talking back to me, and it helps me, write more into a bunch of different scenarios. Some of the voices that I hear in a character helps me write something about another character in the scene. Does that happen to you, or am I the only one that's like?
Let me help you out in this one. Okay,
Yes.
that's called wordsmithing, and you should not be doing wordsmithing till the very, 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 very end. Okay, that's when you start going to your writing programs. She's smiling over. She knows what I'm talking about. You find how many times did you say walk? 444 times. Well, 370 of them have to go. Okay, that's wordsmithing. Your character is from Brooklyn. Why haven't you put forget about it or something else in there that says that he's from Brooklyn, giving him that Brooklyn accent, giving him that Brooklyn voice? That's wordsmithing. Don't do that to the end. Do not be doing that until the very, very
right?
end.
What
Right. Write what you know and do it to the. And wordsmithing should be your last thing you do.
No, I'm not talking about wordsmithing. I know that. I'm talking about in the process. Like they take on their own personality and they take on their own
I have something for you for that.
motivations and agendas, and you hear that.
I will send you
Hear
something
it.
for that. Maria has it already.
Because
Three
what
months.
happens is because you're hearing those voices, you might write another character trait in the character development because of that.
I'll send you something. Maria has it. Have her send it to you. It's called frameworks. What you're doing is you're putting all the characteristics, all the things into that. Maria has it. Have her send it to you. And you're assigning all this stuff beforehand. There's 57 different things just for a TV alone. 57 decisions you have to make before you write one word on a piece of paper. You have to decide all of those things before you write one word. People pick up a script, a piece of paper, and they start writing immediately thinking that this is the answer. It is not the answer. You should know your characters, where they're going to go, what you're going to do with them, and then let it surprise you in the end. Do not write unless you have all that done in advance. That's why synopses are so important too.
That's a good tip.
I
you
I
kids
learned
out
it the hard
there.
way. I learned it the hard way.
These guys know what they're talking about. So, letters to Baghdad. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, well,
Letters from
Scott has read that. Scott's been very helpful. He's been unbelievably helpful in reading my stuff. It is the high concept of the letters from Baghdad, which is what you should always know about your script if you ever write the high concept. It's your basis for everything. An Iraqi interpreter is murdered during the war. His army unit must step up to save the widow and her children from certain death at the hands of a vengeful terrorist, inspired by a true event. So that's the high concept. That tells you everything you need to know about what that's about. And basically, I covered this as a journalist. I saw it. They murdered him on his front lawn in front of his children and his wife. Abu Rami did it. Okay, Abu Rami was a terrorist along with al-Baghdadi and al-Sadr that we chased in 2004 to 2009. We chased him around Baghdad until he left and went back to Iran for his clerical duties. We chased him. We didn't get him. We didn't get al-Sadr until, I want to say 2012. I may be wrong. Correct. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but we didn't get him 2 years later. It was already too late. He'd done damage. So it's a true story based on all of this. And I wrote this and I covered this and I covered every bit of this because I wanted the American public to understand what we've done to local contractors and people that we left behind and who were nothing more than cannon fodder to the terrorists and the governments who went after them.
And working on this project, it kind of galvanized, a follow-up, some legs, letters from fill in the blank.
Letters from Saigon.
Tell me about that. Like, what's
and he's going to be hopefully he's going to be involved with this as we go along in the future too. Is that we're going to do letters from Saigon, we're going to do letters from Kandahar, letters from Kabul, letters from Seoul. What this is designed to do is tell the local story. People spend a lot of time thinking about the soldiers in the war, but they don't spend much time thinking about the local civilians who are often murdered as a result of being involved in this war. And they need to have a voice. They don't. And this is these series is about the interaction between the locals and the soldiers, and what happened to the locals? How were they affected? How was the whole culture affected by that war? And the people left behind. We have done this on multiple occasions. If you think we left 100,000 people behind in Baghdad, Iraq and Afghanistan, isn't it unbelievable about a number? Not even close to what we left in Vietnam. Not even close. There were killing fields in Saigon. There were killing fields. When the VC marched into Ho Chi Minh City, there was genocide going on when that happened. And the last flights out, if you weren't on them, you were part of that genocide. A lot of things happen that never hit the news or never were reported. It's time to tell those stories. That's why we're doing it.
That's awesome. So, where can we find you guys on the social medias? Because you got interesting projects. Where can we find your book? Let's start with your books. Where can we get the book?
Well, mainly you can get it from Amazon.com, the primary source. We have it Kimbrough, we have it softbound, hardbound, and we're working on an audio book. So,
And our company, Top Shelf.
through Top Shelf Publishing, yes. We'll have a very nice logo that'll be recognizable by all, especially if you are a devoted reader.
He's the one that developed the logo, which is very nice. So, and he is going to be involved with any future publications by all means. He's a heart and soul of that. So we're going to be putting out other stuff and series of, and he's also written TV series as well. He wrote a TV series I think is absolutely genius called Guest Relations. And it's nothing more than talking about the mayor of the studio. Every studio has a mayor, and the fires he has to put out on a daily basis. You couldn't write enough scripts to cover what actually happens.
Yeah.
Genius.
From the guest relation employees, otherwise known as pages, to the security department, to the janitorial department, the executives, the guests, the audience members that come to watch the show, the actors, all that goes into production. You have directors, writers, and you name it, and people walking around, everybody's got a job to do. And everybody has a funny story to tell.
It's genius, and you don't have to change anything. It's all there, right there for you. You can almost do a documentary office, the office type of stuff. It's right there for you to do. As you well know, I wrote Benjamin Green. That's based upon the real life operations of the special operations group, and it's some of that stuff is interesting. You see a little bit of the back end of what really goes on in the United States government. But wonderful thing about guest relations is you don't need all that special stuff. You don't need those special. It's all right there for you to film. Pick up a camera and start filming.
Yeah, it's life on a movie or television studio lot. And I know that all those people who have ever worked on one know what I mean. When funny things happen every day. And not everyone knows it, you have to be there to see it, to believe it. The things that happen, in the facades of New York streets, all the various backlots. They all have, stories to tell. And I'm ready, and Lloyd's ready to tell them.
Yeah. I was in Universal the night before, the night that the Universal Studios burned down, the Blacklots. I was there the night that burned down, and the night before that as well. And it was very interesting how that happened.
So where can we find you on the social medias?
Well, we do have a YouTube channel. It's fledgling, but we do have one. You're getting it in the ground floor if you watch now.
Facebook.
What we got it on.
What's the name of the YouTube channel?
Well, right now it's just called Scott Kimbrough. We'll probably rename it, something more appropriate for, the company as it grows.
Top Shelf, but Facebook, we're on Facebook. We have Instagram, we have all of that. LinkedIn, we're all on all of those. So it's not hard to look up Lloyd Hillenberger at LinkedIn, Scott Kindred at LinkedIn. All this, we have all of the
We
social
don't
media.
have our own website for the collected works of what we're doing, and things you can buy on it, gift items related to cannabis farms, t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, you name it. Merchandising.
Well, thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with the PodBrother Nation. Really had fun chopping it up with you. So,
Yeah, you're going to be interesting when you start teaching me. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. I am.
You're going to be in the
looking
audience
forward to
looking at me. You may be bombing, Lloyd, but keep going. You're
Yes.
doing great,
Lloyd,
Lloyd.
you're doing
or you
great.
could be killing it.
Good.
You're
You
doing
could
great,
be killing
Lloyd.
it. You're going to do one or the other, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
either
this should be
way.
interesting.
Yeah.
You get to
Here's what you're
remind
going to do. You're going to either fail forward or succeed backwards. Either way, it's going to be awesome.
Never thought of it that way. Thank
Either
you.
way, it's going to be awesome.
All right, buddy. Never thought of it that way.
All right, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
I'm the PodBrother. This is PodBrother Nation. We're at Miceli's. Come down here and say the PodBrother sent you. They will show you some mad love. Alana, thank you very much for all of your kind services. And Joe Miceli, thank you for allowing the PodBrother to have a home here in Universal City, California. No matter what you do it with a smile because, hey, what the hell, why not? Peace out. I want to tell you guys one more thing before I go. We're going to go on tour. This show, the PodBrother Nation and the PNN Academy, is doing a national tour. We're going out and we're going to hit improv clubs, comedy clubs, sports bars, and theaters. And it's going to all end in Orlando at PodFest. And I am coordinating the comedy track at PodFest. So the tour is all comedic roads leads to the comedy track at the PodFest Expo in Orlando, January 30th through February 2nd, 2025. And who even thinks about the future? I mean, who plans? What the hell's that? I'll see you in Orlando. Peace out, guys. So,
Fantastic.
Thank you, buddy. Hey.
Let's get a picture of the three of you.
All right.
It's my turn to order you around.
Ooh. Don't let her get used to it. You'll
You
spend
ready?
the rest of your life falling for that one.
Okay.
All right.
awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome stuff,
I think I
guys.
sent you pictures on your phone of the. Yeah, of course.
Really?
I sent it to his phone.
Okay.
And he'll send it to you. Yeah, that was great. I mean, I've just been commissioned. Well, it actually is my idea, but I get paid to write a feature, and you're absolutely right. Like, you have no idea the nauseum that we create for each of these characters before we even wrote a word.
One word.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's so true. Like, why is she like this? Is she like this? I mean, so much. And I definitely, that resonated with me because I'm like, yeah, and it helped so
you should write a
much.
framework before you ever start.
Oh, we already did that too.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well,
yeah.
I'm just saying, have her send that framework to you because it answers every question you need to answer about characters. Every
Perfect.
question.
Perfect.
And the thing also too is that